All right, we just finished Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, Episode 4, Sic Semper
Systema.
Wow, fancy.
Yeah.
And, god damn it, I didn't like this episode more than any of the other ones.
Oh, it was good this week. Yeah.
I mean, we had to have... I at least knew that it wasn't the Punisher who killed White Tiger last week. And I like that it's one of the cops or somebody else.
Yeah, somebody in that
Frank's in a goddamn fucking bug out hole.
Punisher fanboy cult or whatever they are. Which, kind of like the Sons of the Batman in the Dark Knight.
Yeah, exactly.
Very similar to the Dark Knight. I don't know if that's intentional or subliminal or just
and we haven't
parallel, but it's very parallel.
Yes, we haven't read the comics in 1,000 years, but talking about his partner, the lawyer,
Foggy,
the black magic girl.
Oh no, yeah.
That in the Mark Waid thing, that she was like 1,000 times worse than how she is in the show, so that's good.
Right,
that she's not like that.
They kind of downplayed that.
Uber not woke.
Boss girl thing, girl boss. Because I saw, I forget who it was, but somebody was mentioning that that character's taken from the comics, and as much as she is a girl boss in this, she was 10 times worse in the original comic run.
What is it with these?
And it was the Mark Waid run. Yes.
What is it with these liberal fucking comic book writers? I mean, I don't consider myself conservative by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm like this Mark Waid bullshit, and then fucking the dumb shit that created Ironheart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like, do you know your audience? And are you just chasing that Disney dream of finding the audience that it doesn't exist? It's just irritating. But anyway, back to the episode. Should we tell when he's? I didn't like his dinner that he was having. Like, why would you eat
sausages
and rigatoni, but with huge pieces of bell pepper?
I think that must have meant something somehow. I didn't get it.
Yeah, maybe that was his father's favorite meal, or
that, or something to tease Adam with.
Yes. So we find out Adam's alive.
Spoiler alert! Big one.
Oh, it was great.
But no, I think it was something that he was doing that specifically that it would
taunt him, or his father. Because he talked about how his father was never a nice person, and forgiveness and all this other horse shit. And so,
it might have just been something that just to get to him and get under his skin with that particular meal. It might have meant something to him.
Yeah. Wild.
That he was eating it in front of him like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they'll explain it.
Yeah,
I know it's the little tiny things, but I'm just like,
no, it's those little details.
But they
and the attention to detail matters.
They prominently displayed the meal.
Oh no!
Instead of him just sitting there eating.
No, it was like a close up of it, and the way it was arranged on the plate was kind of specific and weird.
Yes.
And purposeful though.
Yeah.
Like it meant something. But not sure what it meant.
Yeah. But it's still interesting.
It may become clear later.
And
go back to that's the meal.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got a great. The show was like, was it the cold opening?
We got another F-bomb
from a little kid,
from a minor.
Oh my!
A little girl.
Yeah. So was that was that in the cold opening, or was that after the?
No, that was after.
That was after. Okay. Because they don't have a cold opening, do they?
No, they did.
Oh, they did.
And it was all that stuff about. Maybe she did do that in the cold opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us in the comments.
We just finished it. So
this was an hour episode, which I also like.
54 minutes,
which is good,
and really good 54 minutes.
Yeah.
We finally, we expected, but Frank Castle comes into the picture, and I love John Bernthal's Frank Castle.
Yeah.
And the thing between him and Matt. It was really good. It was intense and
right. So we have Daredevil, we have the Punisher.
Yeah,
I want to see the rest of the Netflix people, or Spider-Man just swinging by. It don't even got to be that twink Tom Holland. It just could be some motherfucker in an outfit, as long as it's not the Ultimate Spider-Man, because that's no good.
Well, yeah, but we got a mention of Spider-Man in the.
Yeah, but I want.
We dropped his name. I would like to see the Daily Bugle building.
Yeah.
Maybe Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
MCU Jonah Jameson is the podcaster guy, the online journalist. But maybe even hear him over a podcast.
Yeah.
With J.K. Simmons' voice to kind of tie it together.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, this is the Marvel. This is in the Marvel universe now, right? So maybe he does podcasts too. You can imagine.
Jonah Jameson was like an online.
Yeah.
In the
movies,
the Tom Holland films, the MCU. Yeah. Jonah Jameson is not like a print journalist.
Paper. Yeah.
He's a podcaster. Like he's a Joe Rogan or somebody. Well, not Joe Rogan, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's bringing you the news through the web.
Or Howard Stern.
I wouldn't
wish that on anybody. Yeah.
No, but
anyway,
or so like an Alex Jones or somebody.
Yeah, somebody who's relatively
controversial and out there and on the web.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a pun. The web.
Right. But it would be kind of cool because we saw the Rogers the Musical placard.
Yeah.
And there was also the Easter egg from the club in Harlem.
Yeah.
From Luke Cage, and we could get cameos from any of the other Netflix people still.
Yeah, and I want.
Karen better come back. God damn it! Now that Frank's back, Karen better come back.
This is a dream, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love it too. Like shit gets real, and towards the end of the season, and then you hear this web shooting, and then Tom Holland shows up. End of the fucking thing. Closed screen. That's it for the season. What
season 2, Spider-Man and Daredevil?
Yeah.
Or take it to the big screen. Marvel team up, Spider-Man and Daredevil.
Oh, there we go. Writing for fucking Marvel again. But they won't do it.
I want my 50 cents for that one. No, but
I want more than 50 cents for that guy. I'll fucking write it.
All right, but okay. So on the subject of Karen and Foggy,
all right,
I'm starting to get the impression that was kind of a bait and switch.
Really?
Yes.
A one and done?
Because they had them on the speaking circuit out there promoting the show as if they were integral parts of it, and we get them for the first episode. And that's all we get. And it was like they were out there on the speaking circuit talking it up to get people to tune in. Of course, it didn't look like it worked because the viewership is so low. But I'm starting to get the feeling that the whole Karen and Foggy coming into the series and actually being on the stage with all the principals as if they were principals in the series, the way they reworked it. And that's not what we got. And it's kind of a bait and switch kind of a thing. I almost feel ripped off, is what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying.
Not so much that I'm not hating the show over it, but...
I understand what you're saying.
But the way they enticed you like that.
I always saw Daredevil very differently than, I guess, the Netflix did, where it was like a triumvirate of fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw it as Daredevil. That's all. He's like a Batman or a Spider-Man. He's a single... And they don't need,
Oh no, he is a solo.
Yeah, so I get what you're saying, but I also I don't care,
because
I'm enjoying the show.
Of the series, Foggy and Karen,
but that's also very limiting. If you want Daredevil to grow and expand and get into the bigger Marvel universe, there are some sacrifices.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing that they should still be there because they should, but would they be happy with Matt banging that gal?
I know that.
I know. You're behind the scenes kind of person.
No. I know that the original treatment that they scrapped.
Yeah.
Did not include Foggy or Karen at all. but that Foggy was dead and Karen was out of the picture. And here they wrote him into this thing that established that, okay, detail how Foggy dies and that Karen's out of the picture. And
well, that's at least they got you got that instead of like, where the fuck are they? And it's just a drop. It's just an info dump of, oh well, you know.
And I don't know if there was any like reason to not use them in the first treatment. Like they just whatever story they wanted to tell, just they couldn't see including them in it, or they didn't know how to write the characters, or what. But
now, see, this is interesting because I'm the one that prompted about the Deadpool Wolverine and how they should have had the fucking Avengers, and now here I am saying like, well, it doesn't really matter because to me, you got to make the case that it matters.
It does.
How? They showed up. Shit happened.
At the end, no.
I'm just, come on.
I know. I realize that in the context of this series, some time has passed since the end of season 3 of Netflix, because at the end of season 3 of Netflix, they had just established themselves as Murdoch, Nelson, and Paige. They put her name on and they were about to embark out and get back to work as lawyers, because that was not happening up to that point, especially after the Defenders and Daredevil, and Matt was recovering from the almost near death, injuries that and when he finally came back to it, and they reconciled with Foggy and Karen about being alive and letting him think he was dead, all that business. And in the very end, they formed Murdoch, Nelson, and Paige, and they were going to go into the next season in that kind of a dynamic. And even the Nelson, Murdoch, and Paige placard is in the opening credits of this series. But we get him for one episode, and I mean, yeah, killing Foggy, I guess. And that Bullseye did it, and there's that going on that they're going to have to come back to. Else why would they do it that way? But Karen got to come back because Frank's around.
I think it's just because you like the actress.
I do, and I love the character. I love the way they play her, and I love the chemistry between Frank and Karen, because she was in both seasons of The Punisher, as well as being with him in the season 2 Daredevil, introducing the Punisher. No, she's great. Her and Frank together are great, and it would be a disservice not to have her come around now that the Punisher's in the picture, even if it's only for a brief 5-10 minutes.
Alrighty.
But
all right, you've made your case.
That is my case.
All right.
That's my soapbox for the day.
Oi. Alrighty. Tell us what you think. Do you agree with Eric? Do you agree with me? No. Or do you have a completely different opinion about it? Are you even watching the show? Let us know.
You should be.
Yes.
It's good. And
it's getting better. And this is me saying it. I don't like anything.
And set whatever you think or have against Disney and Marvel and whatever else.
Which are all true and
do yourself a
correct.
favor, because it's a good show, and it's really nice to have a good show. And I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it. I'm just saying that I just kind of feel a little ripped off by the whole bait and switch with Foggy and Karen leading into it.
So with that, like, share, subscribe.